hardest job you'll ever love. Don't you hate it when people try to pass this kind of crap off as inspirational? Because, yes, it is a job. And yes, you will love your child more than anything else in the world. But you will not love the actual work. From potty training to researching a preschool that won't eat every food budget for the year, to trying to differentiate between a couple of cookies and a cookie binge. Parenting a toddler is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job. Which is why, yes, nap time really is the new happy hour. Once a year, in the early stages of May, we devote one day to honor the women who brought us into this world. The woman who sacrificed her sleep, sanity, and relationships to keep us happy and healthy. And we give them one day, if we remember. And we can never truly understand this until we become parents ourselves. So, good luck. Nap Time is the New Happy Hour by Stephanie Wilder-Taylor. There's no doubt about it. Having kids adds immensely to your life. There's so much more love, and more fun, and more stress. But if you're one who thought that life was incredibly stressful before kids, you're in for a kick in the crotch when kids enter the picture. When you're a baby, you're worried. Why aren't they sleeping? Are they sleeping too much? You cannot put that in your mouth. Why do you want to put everything in your mouth? And of course, are you sure that's food? This is so much worse than food. And the biggest problem with kids is that they don't come with an instruction book, or at least not one that makes any sense. Why did your 2-year-old super glue themselves to the dog? Because they're 2. Why did your little angel eat your cell phone battery? Because they can. And most importantly, how in the hell does my 3-year-old already know how to use the damn DVR? Real moms will let you in on the fact that they are often confused, befuddled, and even lost. That's what being a real mom is all about. Real moms will call you in tears because she so stupidly let her kid have 3 huge slices of cake at another 3-year-old's birthday party. Real moms know that no matter how many hours you spend sitting on the floor, coloring, kissing boo-boos, and singing songs, there will be times that you fall short. Now, don't get me wrong. Being a mom has its perks. My daughter is the greatest thing that I have ever produced in my lifetime. And that includes some pretty amazing middle school art projects. Sometimes I go into her room after she's finally fallen asleep, and I just watch her breathe. She's so calm and perfect when she's sleeping, and I wonder what I did to be so lucky. And then she wakes up. But even then, I can't help but smile. I can't get enough of her laugh, especially when I threaten to eat her tummy for lunch. I can't get enough of her smiles, her curiosity. I love that she makes me drive her around in the middle of summer to look for Christmas lights. I love being her mother. However, there are those occasions that I am pushed to my limit. These are not the things you read about in the "So You're Gonna Be a Mommy" books. Take last Christmas. My husband and I flew out to Connecticut to spend the weekend with his parents. This was our first experience with a pack and play. A borrowed pack and play, at that. Counting on a glorified playpen to contain a 30-pound 2-year-old bent on escape is like trying to contain David Blaine in chains underwater. It's both impossible and extremely annoying. Our detainee broke out of her makeshift cell every single night and stumbled around in the dark, breaking small, expensive figurines like a drunk lady browsing at Tiffany's. This led to no sleep, Yuletide tantrums, and countless apologies to my in-laws. And when we got to the airport for our flight home, I assumed that all the stress was now past. It did not work out that way. My darling daughter woke up that morning at 4 a.m. and naturally refused to nap. So we found ourselves boarding the first leg of our American Airlines flight in an extremely overtired carry-on toddler. Within the first 25 minutes, she burst into tears and showed no sign of stopping. And I tried everything. At the offers of cuddling, stories, DVDs, snacks, and drinks, she writhed in agony, threw sippy cups at other passengers' heads, and swatted my much-needed wine into my lap. No, Dr. McScreamy was not going down without a fight. And the flight attendants tried everything too. Well, not everything. I heard about a flight attendant who was arrested and subsequently fired for slipping a toddler some crushed up Xanax in its juice. Isn't that the worst thing you've ever heard? Fired? I mean, a person goes above and beyond to give good service. And that's the thanks they get? No one offered any drugs on my flight. Just bad suggestions. And this is when I took it as my cue to start walking her up and down the length of the plane. I felt like the worst mother in the world. On display, and the stares that I was getting, it was like I was wearing a sign that said, "This mother cannot comfort her poor, obviously in pain, or severely traumatized daughter." She continued to yell relentlessly until about 30 minutes before we landed, which happened to be at the stroke of midnight on December 31st. That's how my husband and I brought in 2012. Happy New Year. So let's face it, motherhood has its ups and downs. There are going to be days upon days when you cannot believe how much you love your toddler. They look up at you as you cut the crust off their PB&J and just, out of the blue, they say, "Mommy, you're the awesomest." And at that moment, you feel pretty awesome. And you just want to squeeze them so tight they're going to feel it when they're 40. And there are going to be days when they drive you stark raving mad. But here's the bottom line. When you're in the throes of a bad day, week, or year, treat it like turbulence. Hang on tight, breathe deeply, and drink what you've got. You will land eventually.